Caitlin Clark injuries put the Fever in near impossible spot as they face an uphill battle in the second half of WNBA season. There is still no return date for Caitlin Clark from the injury that kept her out of the All-Star Caitlin Clark's second WNBA season has been a rough ride for both her and the Indiana Fever. The 23-year-old has missed nearly as many games, 11, as she's played, 12. This year, not counting 2 that don't hit the stats sheet. The Commissioner's Cup Championship, where the Fever beat Minnesota, the league's top team so far, in this weekend's All-Star Game, where she was the most voted player ever, the trouble. She's racked up 3 injuries in just over 2 months. It started with a left groin strain that sidelined her for 5 games, followed by a left quad issue costing another 5, and now a fresh groin injury has already knocked her out for 1 game before the All-Star break, the ASG itself, and tomorrow's matchup against the New York Liberty. It's wild to think she might not have fully shaken that first hit, especially since injury was a foreign word in her career. She went unscathed through 139 college games and her Rookie of the Year season. For the Fever and coach Stephanie White, the second half of the season looks like a steep climb. Can they keep their all-star healthy while snagging a postseason spot? It's a tough balancing act with a 12-11 record. Nothing's locked down in Indiana yet. Coach White faces a tricky call on Clark's return. Head coach Stephanie White has her hands full. She is planning to get a second opinion on Clark's groin injury, which puts the Fever in a real bind. Clark is a game changer, and her presence could make or break the rest of the season. However, rushing her back could make things worse, and her long-term future is on the line too. The smart move? Sit her out against New York and proceed with caution until they're certain she won't exacerbate the injury. Forget the ratings hype or playoff seeding worries. Clark is too vital to the Fever's future to risk further injury. She's already dealt with 4 muscle problems this year, so something's off. The team needs to ease her back carefully. The lineup data offers a glimmer of hope. The Fever's net rating drops to plus 1.63 without Clark, far from plus 9.74 with her, but they still outscore their opponents. They're not thriving, just surviving. The big question is how long they can hold her out before she needs tune-up minutes for the playoffs. Maybe a second opinion will buy a week or 2, and she'll return at full strength. Who knows? I'm no doctor, just an observer. The season picks back up tomorrow, July 22nd, with 5 games, including the Fever's clash with the Liberty, and there's no clear timeline for Clark's return. Her stats have taken a hit since that first injury. 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5.0 rebounds over 13 games, with 5 double-doubles, but she's gone 7 games without 20 points, 6 under 15, and shot a rough 5.71%, 2 of 35, from 3 on her last 5 road games, rough for her usual standard. Last year, though, the Fever flipped the script post-break, with Clark averaging 23.1 points and 8.9 assists in the final 14 games, giving fans some optimism. Right now, her recovery's the top priority. These setbacks are dragging down both her and the team. I'd bet her best shot to return is July 27th against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese, a matchup that's become must-see TV since last year. The Sky's struggling in the standings, but Reese is on fire, hitting the best stretch of her career, while Clark's stuck in her roughest patch yet. The Indiana Fever's season was always going to be a tightrope walk. Youthful talent balancing on high expectations, each game a gust of wind threatening to sway their fragile momentum. But now, with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark battling injuries, the rope feels thinner, the wind stronger, and the fall much steeper. Heading into the second half of the WNBA season, the Fever find themselves teetering. Their record hovers just below the playoff line, each game becoming more than a competition. It's a survival test. And with Clark's health status uncertain, the pressure on this young, evolving team has never felt more suffocating. The star and the strain. When Indiana selected Caitlin Clark with the number 1 overall pick, they weren't just drafting a player. They were inheriting a phenomenon. Her arrival brought packed arenas, surging ratings, and national headlines. But with all the fanfare came relentless minutes, physical defense, and media scrutiny. Clark wasn't eased into the league. She was thrown into its furnace. And she held her own. More than that, she thrived. Clark led the Fever in points and assists through the first half of the season, dazzling crowds with logo threes, no-look passes, and her signature fearless flair. But beneath the highlight reels was a body being tested far beyond its college workload. Groin tightness, minor knocks, fatigue, and then the inevitable, she sat out. What was first labeled as precautionary has become a cloud hanging over the Fever's trajectory. As the league resumed after All-Star Weekend, Clark's absence, whether partial or prolonged, leaves Indiana staring down a near-impossible road ahead. A shifting identity. Without Clark on the floor, the Fever lose more than just stats. They lose pace. They lose spacing. They lose the player who makes defenders back up just by crossing half-court. She changes how the game looks, head coach Christy Sides admitted in a recent presser. She opens up the floor for everyone. Her presence isn't just about scoring. It's how she sees the game, how she elevates others. Without that, we have to find new ways to create. Aaliyah Boston, the reigning Rookie of the Year, has stepped up in Clark's absence, but opposing defenses have quickly adjusted. With no Clark to stretch them, they double Boston in the post. The Fever's transition game has slowed. Three-point attempts have dipped. And late-game execution, where Clark often served as the closer, has crumbled. "We don't have time to feel sorry for ourselves," Boston said after a recent loss. "This league doesn't wait. The schedule gets no kinder." If the Fever had hoped for a softer stretch to recalibrate, the schedule offers no mercy. In the next month, they face the Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty, and Connecticut Sun, the league's elite, not once but multiple times. "These aren't just good teams," said WNBA analyst LaChina Robinson on a national broadcast. "These are battle-tested, title-contending machines. And if you don't have your star player healthy and firing, you're not just behind, you're drowning." Indiana's bench, while gritty, lacks the offensive punch to carry a full 40 minutes against those powerhouses. Kelsey Mitchell can score in bunches, and Nalissa Smith has had breakout moments, but without Clark orchestrating the offense, the pieces don't quite hum in harmony. And every loss now digs a deeper hole in the playoff race.